Yo, yo, yo. Hey, everyone. How's it going? What's up, Noxel? Happy post-Thanksgiving. Everyone survived. How's it going, Cindy? What's up, Delansky? I gotta lower this a little bit. All right. We're back in action. What do you mean ban Haywyre? Is that even possible? Yeah, it's Feedback Fridays, so exclamation mark join. It's gonna be a long one today. Good to see you here, Patrick. I was actually just working on the Insight VIP, which is why I was a little bit late. Today is not about Haywyre. Today is about what you guys are working on. So, that being said, I am pretty excited about the artwork that Everyday Swiss created for the Insight VIP. I kind of want to tease it real quick because this will be the last project of the year for Haywyre, and I actually would love to show you guys the art because it's kind of like a little bit of a. It's a VIP, so figured like the art needs a little bit of a redo, and Patrick did a really good job with this. It's not an inverted image of the old Inside art, no. That probably would have been a lot easier to do than what Patrick did, but here, I'm just gonna quickly show this to you guys while you're typing in exclamation mark join, which, by the way, that is the way to enter the raffle. If any of you guys have stuff that you want to share, music, normally, but yeah, exclamation mark join is the way to enter the raffle. But yeah, here I'll switch to my desktop for a moment, and we can witness the glory. I thought it was a nice adaptation of the original. So, yeah, super excited for this to come out. Okay, I can't be exposing my WhatsApp messages like that. But anyways, okay. Enough of that. Bro is standing there. What's up, Howdy? He's in awe. Yeah. So today's gonna be a long feedback stream. I'll be on from now until about 4 p.m. There's been so many times, basically every feedback stream, I feel like I'm cutting things short. So not today. Today will be a long stream. Yeah, the artist did capture the likeness. I think so. I think so too, because it wasn't his art piece, so he had to kind of recreate everything from scratch. Chilly. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly pretty fitting. I was thinking about that today because I was like, man, looking outside, it is getting ice cold, and by the time the track actually gets released, it will be snowing in a good chunk of the world. So, all right. Well, let's switch over to my desktop view again, and let's choose a winner. Let's see what's going on. Darkforge UK, what's going on? You got something for us to listen to? What's up? What's up? SoundCloud would be great, yeah. Just remember to do the private link, otherwise I might not be able to hear it. How was everyone's Thanksgiving, if you guys celebrated? I was literally in a food coma for like 5 hours. I was having a hard time thinking straight. But is something steaming in the back? Yeah. I have a humidifier going on in here. It gets so dry here in the winter, and Yeah, I basically have a humidifier in every single room now. I've learned that that helps a lot. Let's check this out. What do we got here? Cheeky by Darkforge. Let's listen to this.
So cheeky.
Cool. Nice. It's a good tune. It's really playful. One might even say a tad bit cheeky. I like it. A lot of energy. Got a lot of those little 8-bit flourishes in there, which actually I feel like wasn't really. I wasn't getting that vibe originally in the track, and then it just kind of started popping in here and there, and it was an unexpected kind of like stylistic flourish to the track. I liked it. I think somebody else in the chat mentioned Tokyo Machine, and that's probably one of the first thoughts I had once I started hearing that influence. But anyways, great tune. I think really I was trying to think about like melodically what's happening. I think there's some like little repeating phrases like that in the track and stuff, and I like those. In terms of like give my brain a moment here to switch over to feedback mode, because I'm trying to think of like what kind of thoughts I could have that might be helpful. Looks like this is still private, so this is unreleased, I'm assuming. I think I'm kind of, I feel like part of me is hoping to hear, I'm thinking mix-wise. I think like arrangement-wise, everything is good. Like composition-wise, like I don't think melodies and that kind of stuff are a huge part of your track, and it doesn't need some kind of big main melody or anything. It works as is. It's very very energetic and upbeat, and yeah, that kind of feels like it's the playful upbeat vibe is kind of like the main thing I'm picking up on here. So I don't think you need to have some kind of super memorable melody for a track like this. It does help to have those little motifs that kind of pop in and out for sure. But yeah, I'm thinking like really the biggest thing I'm thinking about is more like mix wise. I feel like that's the only place where things are still feeling a bit unfinished. And then one other thing I would say is arrangement wise too. There are maybe, for my taste at least, a few moments where things are a bit too busy, like almost too many fake outs going on. Like this entire section, for example, it feels almost like one giant fill, which is cool because it's kind of like keeping you on your toes, right? But part of me wonders whether there's a way to tone down the amount of kind of like fake outs and fills that are happening here, and try to lock in on the main groove a tiny bit more. Let me check out the first drop again real quick.
Why you gotta be so cheeky?
Yo, what's up, Just Alex? Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Wait, is that the Just Alex? If so, why are you subscribing? Anyways, so in the first drop, I feel like you kind of are keeping things a bit simpler, and I like the idea of kind of progressing into something a bit more chaotic. I think that's dope. This one has like a pretty clear kind of drop motif, I feel like, right?
Be so cheeky.
It's kind of like that vocal chop. Why you gotta be so cheeky? And then here, it feels like the second time around, there's basically no trace of that anymore. I hear it in the background now that I'm playing them side by side. I can hear some of the vocal chops in there. But I hope you understand what I mean. I'm not saying like dumb down your creativity. I'm not saying anything like that. But I think that from a listener's perspective, it can be a little too complex almost to kind of like still be dance floor friendly, if that makes sense. Now that's not necessarily, take that with a grain of salt, because I feel like dance floor friendly means something very different in EDM than it does, let's say, for example, in like in different music scenes, like I don't know, like plenty of like technical death metal scenes, and you'll have these like Meshuggah type insane time signature breakdowns that are like, nobody in the audience, most people in the audience are probably not counting like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It's like they're just getting down, even though there's all these crazy odd time signatures and stuff happening. Now that's at a whole nother level of like complexity being dance floor friendly compared to what you have. Your track is 4 to the floor from beginning to end. So, I can see how what I'm saying may not, be that important, right? So I'm just judging it more from the context of EDM, which is where I feel like this places genre-wise. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. I would just tone down some of that, and then mix-wise, the only other thing I would say, yo, what's up, Triforium Music? Thank you for the follow. Mix-wise, I think the only other thing is like
I'll be so cheeky.
it's really dependent on the section, like what I think of, what I'm thinking of changing mix wise, but like I'm having a hard time describing, like, initially what I was thinking is like some it feels like the kick is almost a tad bit soft. I think just a tiny bit of experimentation with like transient shaping and pitch shaping and the movement of the foundation of the kick. I don't really know exactly how else to phrase it, but yeah, I wish there was like, the equivalent of like music theory for sound design, because I wish I could tell you exactly what I'm hearing. But anyways, I think that like a little bit more beefiness in the mids could be nice. I'm hearing like a certain adjustment to that kind of like a pitch movement in that kick drum. But anyways. Is it just me, or maybe it is a tiny bit mono as well? Yeah, you could potentially get away with adding more stereo to certain sounds, but and then in this section, I was just gonna say that snare sounds to me a little bit like there's like two samples with two different fundamentals that are like competing with each other or something. I think it might be worth trying to take a closer look at that sound and see what's going on there. Because I like the idea of switching over to a snare sound here. I think that it sounds like, I'm not sure. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it'd be nice if the fundamental was a little bit more defined. Sounds like there's like some muddiness going on around it. So it's kind of hard to. It sounds kind of more just like smeared, like the fundamental is a little smeared. But anyways, I'm not trying to like go in on your track, by the way. I'm just trying to think of some stuff to add to the mix. And honestly, today I have more time than I usually do for Feedback Fridays, so I'm trying to go into more detail. But yeah, okay. That's all I got for today. Thanks for sharing, Dark Forge UK. And let's move on to the next track. I was going for a bit of a wacky resonant snare. Yeah, I understand. Totally get what you're saying. Definitely. All right, let's move on to the next one. What's up, Hex? What you got for us today? All right. What are we working with here? Let's see what we got. Talkant.
Never been the king of the art, but I'm thinking I might be when I'm hitting the card. I got a head start, living with a pen in the heart, a fan of the bark, but nippy when defending the hearth. Give me credit, I'm undiscovered, but I flow in the dark. Fly the coop and I bring the cash back, crowing the bars to take charge. Third rail contact, all gas, going full blast, need no clutch. Quick to the slick talk, ticked off, tongue fucking venom, hit the bricks, man, I'm pissed. When you're sick of yourself, you turn the lemons into kicks. When you throw at your click swift, you miss it when I dip. I've been taking the punches, but I've never been a bag. You can toe through the ropes to protect your comfort, and I'm ready to rupture. About time to defend who I am, cause a real friend needs no crutch.
I don't fuck with the way that they move. I came to rock, roll J and play tunes.
Brain in the head, but the head off the shoulders. I'm breaking my bread for the heads that I roll with spit. Till the code name stick, you can talk your shit, cause it don't mean shit, cause you talk too much. shows. Brain in the head with the head off the shoulders. I'm breaking my bread for the heads that I roll with. Spit till the code name stick. You can talk your shit cause it don't mean shit cause you talk too much.
I came to rock, 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 rock.
Sick. Cool. Thank you for sharing. I have some thoughts. I think that in general, I love the idea of like you. I don't see a lot of producers trying to pull off rapping and producing EDM. That's not an easy combo. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. You were like spitting so fast. I didn't even know where I was. Like I swear, wasn't paying attention for like 1 minute, and then you already went through an entire extra paragraph. So I was like, "What is going on?" Anyways, so love the tune. I think it's a hard thing to pull off what you're doing, and I think you have a great track here so far. Arrangement wise, I think it's great. It'd be nice to have some kind of outro. I think it could be helpful to maybe like break things down in the middle again, and create a little bit of breathing room. It's not necessarily something you have to do, just a thought. And I know you said that like you recorded these vocals in your living room in an hour, but like, honestly, like these days, I wouldn't get too caught up with the idea of needing to pay for a studio recording session to get vocals done. I think that a lot of the things that you might be looking to do in terms of, adding character to your voice and, those kind of things, obviously you can do with processing. I'm just not convinced that you actually need to go to a studio, but that's just my thought process. I think that like, I think in my mind, what's more important is, I mean, there's so many vocal effects these days that can help you clean up your vocal takes without going to the studio. Is another reason why I say that, because like, what's the isotope stuff, like the denoising. Like the RX10 stuff, like declick, DS, denoise, like a lot of these things. Yeah, sometimes when they're extreme, they can cause artifacts, but on lower settings, if you use a lot of them in succession, it can actually work some wonders. And then from there, I think in my mind that some of the more important things might be more about like how to pull off the right like tone. I don't listen to a ton of rap, so don't judge my opinion here too harshly. But what's that guy's name? Freddie Dredd or something like that. What the hell? Who am I thinking of here?
King of the art, but I'm thinking I might be when I'm hitting the card. I got a head start, living with a pen in the heart, a fan of the bark, but nippy when defending the hearth. Give me credit.
I feel like you're obviously pulling off the vocals quite well. I'm thinking more about like the execution of like the attitude in the vocals. I'm not 100% sold on that part of it.
Credit, I'm undiscovered, but I flow in the dark. Fly the coop and I bring the cash back, crow in the bar.
Yo, I just realized also, sorry, I'm just seeing now that this is featuring Wabbajack, so I'm guessing Wabbajack is probably the vocalist. So my bad for taking a moment to realize that's probably what's going on here. But I'm not like 100% sold on the execution of the vocals. More so, not because of like some kind of vocal quality or something like that. It's not like I'm hearing it and thinking like, oh, this was recorded in a living room. This is not sounding good or something like that. It's more like the attitude and the style. Like I want it to be more. The track has a lot of attitude and energy, and it's kind of like this. Yeah, I mean, there's like all this kind of like swearing. I get the general. I wasn't listening to all the lyrics, but I kind of get the vibe. And I feel like I want his voice. Not just the lyrics, but like his voice to kind of embody that more. And I'm not saying that in like a, he should be screaming or something like that, but it's more like, I'm just not feeling super convinced by the emotion in his voice. Rather like the performance is, outside of that, I think is fine. Yeah, so maybe some more processing and experimentation with like, tone and attitude, could help a lot. But yeah, anyways, outside of that, the only other thing I was thinking of, there's a lot of cool sound design and stuff going on. I like kind of like the trap EDM feel. I think around here, when you have that I came to rock kind of like repeating there, I thought it'd be cool to continue that vocal chop there. I came to rock, 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 rock. Keep that going through this section. I think that would be a cool way to switch it up. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Peekaboo. Like when it comes to EDM, it's not really trap, but like, that kind of like wook trap EDM type sound that Peekaboo does. I mean, he kind of owns that sound a bit, and he's just so good at it. But I feel like that could be a cool reference for trying to pull that off potentially. And maybe a good reference from a mixing standpoint as well. But yeah, cool tune. That's pretty much all I got. I can't think of anything else really to share that might be helpful for the track, but thank you. Thanks for. Wait, I guess still talking about the smoke behind me. Maybe I should get smoke machines for the stream. That'd be a vibe. Actually, I was telling quick story time. Before we go on to the next, I'm gonna roll on to the next winner here. What's up, Triforium? Sorry. Share a link whenever you got a second. But my dad's visiting. I think I mentioned that, from Austria, and he's here at the moment. And I was describing to him today. We went out for coffee this morning, and I was describing to him the feedback stream, like Fridays is Feedback Fridays, and he was saying that I should have the flags that judges use, where it says like a score out of 10 for various competitions like diving and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, you might be onto something here. Maybe I should invest in some flags for the feedback streams. But anyways, so we got our next track here. This is Triforium remixing Huntrix, How It's Done.
You came at a bad time, but you just crossed the line. You wanna get wild? Okay, I'll show you wild. Better come right, better not try and get into a level. Cause you might die, never the time, trying to start a battle. Bleeding isn't in my blood, pienso que está de la so. Beating you is what I do, yeah. Your body, I'm naughty, the sorry. And when you pull up, I pull up a little late to the party. La 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 la, lock and loaded, I was born for this. There ain't no point in avoiding it. Annoyed, tell that they kill me up the better. Knocking you out like a lullaby. Hear
It's a cool tune. Yeah, I have some thoughts on it. I think that the arrangement works. You know, everything from the beginning to end feels like it's arranged well. I don't know the original, so keep that in mind when I'm giving some of this feedback. But I would say I did have some things that came into mind. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw them out there in no particular order. The first thing I thought of was that kind of like trying to look at this remix from like a broader like bird's eye view. Like I think that it sounds like you're using a lot of the original top line. I think for a remix, it's not necessarily like somehow automatically a bad thing, but I would say like some of my favorite bootlegs and remixes and stuff, they you know, people are already going to be familiar with the top line most likely. For a remix, I'm not sure if you need to use that much of it for that reason. And the other thing is that there may be some different ways to, and like creative ways to kind of incorporate it some more. I think that, you know, there's some moments where you have some like rate on a phaser kind of like moving through the vocals. The rate is like changing, stuff like that. I think I hear techniques like that in, I think, like Subtronic's music and stuff like that on occasion. I don't really know his discography super well, but I feel like in that style of dubstep you hear that. So like totally get that, you know, that works super well in this genre. But yeah, maybe there's some more creative ways to experiment with incorporating the vocal into your remix that's different than the original, right? So then the other thing I was thinking about,
You came at a bad time, but you just crossed the line. You wanna get wild? Okay, I'll show you wild. Better come right, better luck trying, get into a level. Cause you might die, never the time, trying to start a battle.
like that. I'm just like trying to think about the arrangement here. Part of me wants to hear some hi-hats with this. I'm thinking about a couple of things, like the snare, for example. That sounds like more of a drop snare than an intro snare to me. It's quite heavy right off the bat. It sounds great. I wonder if it's giving away too much of the impact from your drop. Like I could almost hear something more trappy, like a fundamental that's higher, a sound that's a little bit not as low a fundamental, not as heavy. Because it could help kind of create a little more contrast between your drop and the intro. You can use the energy from the vocals to kind of ride through this first part of the track. But yeah, I'm kind of hearing like some. I would lean into maybe more of like a trap-like thing. It's kind of what you're already doing here, but yeah, I just feel like some hi-hats, some like trap hi-hats here right off the bat could help. I understand the decision to not use hi-hats there too.
Cause you might die, never the time, trying to start a battle. Bleeding isn't in my blood, pienso que está so beating you is what I do, yeah. Your body, I'm naughty, but sorry. And when you pull up, I pull up a little late to the party.
I think some of those reversed cymbals also feel a little bit random. They feel like they're kind of placed there, and you're hearing it, and you're kind of expecting something to happen, and it feels like it doesn't quite make sense where it's placed. Yeah, so here you have some hi-hats popping in, but like I was hearing like right when the verse starts, in my mind, if that's where the vocals are going to be, I would think it could be really great to have like, yeah, snare change, and maybe some trap hi-hats, like, you know, something like that with like the typical kind of variations from like 16th to 8th notes and stuff like that.
How it's done.
I think here too, you're still using a lot of the original vocal, and I feel like even like here, the attention should be way more about the drop sound design. I get that is the focus, but I still feel like the vocal is still too present here. You know, it's like you have the dun dun dun. That's fine.
How it's done, done, done.
And then you have the vocals pop in there again.
How it's done, done, done.
And that reverb tail lasting through the drop too, I think is kind of reducing the impact. I think it would feel better. Like, let me just throw an idea out there. Like, imagine, you know, that Gristronics track with that has those like horn stabs, like a kind of like a horn stab fake out type of thing. There's a Must Die track that does that too. I think like imagine you have like these like synthesized horn-ish stab things going like bum 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 with the vocal bum bum bum, and then no drums during that dun dun dun, like a fake out, and then going into a drop from there, and then reducing the vocals or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I don't really make dubstep. I was never really good at it, so you know, I'm just giving my 2 cents here. But yeah, I think some of the momentum here is it's not carrying over. I think your sound design also just needs to be more the focal point. Kind of feels like the volume automation and stuff. It's like kind of like fading in and fading out a little bit, and then the vocals pop in here and there, and like it needs to be a little bit more like yeah, super, just kind of like 1000 OTTs in a row, just like zero dynamics, just in your face from beginning to end of the drop. You know, that's kind of, I feel like the the style. So I would try to think about this a little bit more, maybe cross references to some of your influences and see where some of those differences are. But yeah, that's the only bit of criticism I have for you at the moment. I think for some reason I thought of there's this artist that remixed Low. What's that fucking song called? Low. Remix. I'm not gonna be able to find it like this, am I? Damn it. Yeah, never mind. Okay, forget what I'm saying. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Thanks for sharing, Trifarium. And let's roll on to the next person. What's up, Hottie? How's it going? Good to see you in here. Boots with the fur. Yeah, wait. What song is that? T-Pain? It's T-Pain? Oh, wait. Hold on. No, not Dirty Snatch. Who? There's some... What is his name? I can't remember. No, this isn't it. Man, there's somebody that did a remix of this track years ago that popped off. And I can't remember what their name was. Anyways, okay, let's forget about that. All right, so this is a fresh one that's very much a work in progress. Oh, wait. Did they turn it into an original? Maybe that's why. Flowrider? Huh. But, like, how would they get away with that? Flowrider? Hello? Right. Okay, it is this track. This was remixed by someone. It was actually a pretty sick remix. I'll have to look it up later. I can't think of it right now. I just thought it was a potentially good reference point for the previous song. But okay, let's move on. Hottie, this is a fresh one that's very much a work in progress, both writing production wise. More so specifically, the vocals and lyrics and the verses are still being workshopped. Wanted to get your thoughts and suggestions. Awesome. Now let's check it out. See what you got.
I step in the snow, I don't leave no marks, 'cause I'm a ghost, can nobody see me, so now on my own, 'cause I'm a ghost, 'cause I'm a ghost. Weightless in the moment, looking down below, everything feels small. I've been really flying for so long. Now I'm drifting in the light, thinking I don't need to fight. Moving clouds are shifting shades, spiral light from outer space, dance forms evaporate. Lift me up forever the same. I step in the snow, I don't leave no marks, 'cause I'm a ghost, can nobody see me, so now on my own, 'cause I'm a ghost, 'cause I'm a ghost.
Cool. Cool. Really cool track. It's got a little bit of it's definitely got a pop feel to it. That bass line in the chorus kind of feels like it's giving me some Tame Impala vibes a little bit, which is cool. I don't know exactly which direction you want to take with this. Like some of the vocals, well, I don't really know exactly why I phrased that way. I'm seeing like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm seeing multiple different directions for reference points for the final version of something like this. So like I'm hearing like vocally, I'm hearing like a little bit of a like Imagine Dragons almost kind of vibe, with kind of like that, like a little bit of a, you know, a poppy, borderline screaming, shouting kind of thing. But then some of the production and writing reminds me a little bit of, yeah, I got that bass line definitely was giving me some Tame Impala vibes, which I love, but I really like it. Like that, it's catchy. I'm thinking about like the the production style. Like I could see like producing drums that are in that kind of like Imagine Dragons or Tame Impala kind of space could be cool. Obviously, the vocals are very different than Tame Impala. That's obviously more like psychedelic and washed out. I think yours is a bit more upfront and aggressive, not psychedelic. But
I step in the snow, I don't leave no marks, 'cause I'm a ghost, can nobody see me, so now on my own.
there's a little bit of weirdness in the tuning going on here. So like with a track like this, where your vocal is basically by far the most important thing in the track, especially for it being like right off the bat in the intro like this, I think you want to be really careful with the kind of takes you have.
In the snow,
Right
I
off,
step in the snow,
like that sounds great.
I don't leave no marks, 'cause I'm a
There's something a little bit weird going on there tuning wise. It might be that maybe I don't know if you're using something like Melodyne or Auto Tune or something like that, but I would take a closer look at some of those really. There's something a little off happening there in the tuning, and that's totally fine. But I would try to keep improving on the takes, and just like punch yourself in over and over again. I don't really know what your vocal process is like. Your vocals sound great, by the way. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. I hope I didn't just jump straight past all the good things that are happening in this track. I'm just realizing I may have just jumped straight into the criticism, but yeah. So I was thinking about that a little bit. There aren't many places where I was like, oh, hold on, there might be something happening in the tuning that you don't want in the final.
ghost, can nobody see me, so now on my own, 'cause I'm a ghost, 'cause I'm a ghost,
There is,
'cause I'm a ghost.
yeah, it definitely feels like there's some other little strange tuning things going on there, but yeah. Anyways, I would pay close attention to that, and then the production. I really think this has more of a live feel. Like this sounds to me a little bit like a band performing a track, right? You got bass and guitar in sync playing that.
Weightless in the moment, looking down below.
Yeah, anyways, I'm thinking if you can produce the drums more and kind of have the mix style change there a little bit to sound more like Tame Impala or something with like a little more of a beefier production, that could be really cool. I think it sounds great in that style as well, but I just think that having those drums punch through the mix a little bit more would be really nice, and a little bit of side chaining. That's just where my head's going. My associations are with those, so it may not be that helpful for the style that you're trying to execute.
I don't leave no marks, 'cause I'm a ghost, can nobody see me, so now on my own, 'cause I'm a ghost, 'cause I'm a ghost.
What would be cool here? There's this little bit of silence. Why don't you throw in like a bass and guitar fill there? Because I think that riff is kind of like a really unique. I feel like it kind of shines in the track overall. Obviously, your vocals are the front runner, but it feels like that is one of the more memorable parts about the song. It'd be cool to have like. There's totally room for some kind of fill to happen there with the bass and guitar. Yeah, I think that could be cool. But yeah, I mean, other than that, what else? You know, I'm trying to think about the arrangement. You could consider shortening the track a bit. Unless you're adding more lyrics here, considering the style, it's very vocal centric, kind of poppy. I would consider maybe removing some of this here and just shortening it to be just an outro from here. But that's totally your call. I don't think it's necessary. It's just a thought process that unfortunately has become ingrained in so many of us artists and producers because of the shortening attention span of listeners and the Spotify style, music arrangement where, I'm not saying it's a good thing, just throwing it out there. But you don't think you have anything more to say lyrically? That's totally fine. Well, in that case, just ponder that. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for sharing that. It's a really cool idea. Let's move on to the next one. Ganjuba's music. Listen to this producer's work. It's amazing. He's currently working with some underground artists. Yeah, for sure. I'll keep that in mind. Units. I haven't heard of them before. All right, bunnies for breakfast. What's going on? Bunnies for breakfast. Hold up. That's questionable. They're too cute to eat, man. Just too cute. I say that after having had like a pound of turkey yesterday. Oh no, this is something I did years ago. Let's check it out. We got a new follower. Yo, thank you for the follow, Ganjuba. 7 years old, damn. TikTok brain. Yo, give me just a brief moment. I'm gonna, it's getting really warm in here. I gotta change the shirt because I spilled some coffee on it. I'll be back in just a moment.
I know I've given up 100 times before.
All right, good.
But I
Sorry about
know a miracle is not something to ignore.
Wait, what is going on? Why did it just? I should have known it would autoplay. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Cool. So obviously, I only heard the first 2 minutes, but and it's an older track. I don't know if you're still planning on releasing this. I think your biggest enemy is probably mix related. Things started off okay, and then once you got to the drop, I felt that actually I thought some of the vocals sounded good too. Lots of good stuff going on. Just felt like the mix was really suffering during the drop. So that there's like a lot of the shapes of your drums are kind of like really thin, or they're getting kind of like that you can't really hear the fundamentals from the like kick and the snare very well. I don't know if they're like high passed or what. I'm not sure how much sidechain is going on in here as well, but I would probably focus on maybe like one layer at a time, starting to like bring in things slowly and trying to see how you can you would be able to get the mix to sound a little bit cleaner. Oh wait, this is released. I thought this was a private track. My bad. So this is already posted from 7 years ago. Got it. Okay. I mean, the energy is there, right? So I think it's more about just fine tuning your mix. Like the hi hats sound kind of like really sharp and like comparatively speaking, and to the rest of the mix. So I think that's really your biggest enemy. I think just referencing other drum and bass tracks that have mixes that you really enjoy could be probably really helpful. And I think also maybe instead of filtering in the drop drums, it'd be nice to have like dedicated sounds for the intro that are kind of like starting to build momentum, have some like, something like small, but got lots of energy and rhythm to it. Whether it's like shakers and like little stuff like that would be cool. But anyways, just some food for thought. Really appreciate you sharing it. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, it might be an issue with compression. It could definitely be over compressed. But yeah, okay, let's keep moving. Thanks for sharing. What's up, Delansky? I know you're talking about at the beginning of the stream, having some goodies for us. All right, let's check this out. A track I wrote with Noxel. Yo, y'all are the wire chord is evolving. Y'all are like all making tracks together now. What is going on? All right. It's a project we started with some of the Haywyre community members, and we're working on a collab album. That is sick. Let's go. We started this song about a month and a half ago, working on it extensively up until the stream. Amazing. Unfinished, heavily inspired by your past and upcoming music. Let's check this out. I'm excited. Community album. That's wild. Delansky. What's going on, Noxel? What the? Love it. Beautiful. Really love the idea. Honestly, I'd be really curious to see what this sounds like. If it's kind of like pushed into a limiter or something like that. I know some people swear by clippers. I've never really messed with clippers as much, so I don't know about that. But either way, I'd love to hear this kind of being pushed into a limiter some more, because I think that this is something that happens to me a lot when I'm getting to this point in the track where like the mix works pretty good and like things are coming together, and then there's a whole nother kind of like mix down phase that happens once you realize all the dynamics and we gotta do follow up. Just how a mix changes once you're kind of pushing it into a limiter. It can be like a totally new process. But thank you for the follow, King Han. First of all, love the track. Yeah, I'm happy that my streams recently, the originals I've been working on, have been inspiring y'all. That makes me really happy. That's my voice right there that says Noxel, right before that second drop. What's going on, Noxel? Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff happening here. I feel like the sound design, the fills, the writing, you know what? I think that really one thing that feels like it's missing to me is some kind of melodic just a melody, something that feels like it is Yeah, I feel like some kind of melodic motif would definitely tie the track together because right now, there's a lot of great things going on. You know, the arrangement is great. Like a lot of the sound design is great. The mix is sounding good. It's clean. There isn't anything like that feels like it's really out of place or anything. So I would just love to hear, yeah, just some kind of anyways, I was just thinking about like what you could throw in there. The options are endless. I like a lot of the sound design going on in the drop too. Key. I like that little that short sound. The dun, dun, dun. Where is it? Dun, dun, dun. I like that. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much else to say. I think I hear some of my random little free sounds from Key Collection in there, but yeah, I never count on me sample. Oh, wait, what? Did I make that sound? No way. Oh, doesn't sound like something I made, but I like it. Either way, you guys should be proud. It's a really sick tune. Thank you so much for sharing. And that wobble at the very end is never coming. Oh, no way. That's yeah, okay, I recognize that one. Yep. Sick. Hope you guys finish it. I really want to I'd love to hear you guys come back with this next week. And try to give it a rough go, like a rough master. Just see how it sounds when you're kind of pushing it a little bit. Volume wise, we got a deadline. Hell yeah, let's go. Chop chop. I want this finished. Oh, we're bringing up baby. It's been a while. It's been a while since we brought up baby, so I don't blame you, Junie. Okay, let me get the BRB screen going real quick, and I will get Senor Baby going. Noxel, you get your link ready. I'll get baby, and then we'll listen to it together. All right, I'm sorry, but I couldn't bring him upstairs. He is extremely cozy, and he's fighting me whenever I try to pick him up. He just keeps meowing at me like, leave me alone. So I'll make it up to you, Junie. I'll bring him out for no channel points another time. All right, let's get back to it. Where were we? Okay, you do have something for us after all. Let's check it out. Bro, I should have known.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I've built commitments while I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it.
Okay, I just had to jam to it for a second. Let's go. Any feedback on a mix? It needs a little more Rick. All right, let's keep moving here. What's up, Leo Menful? I'm not gonna forgive you for that one, Noxel. You got something for us to listen to, Leo? Cool. What do we got here? What's going on? Leo Menful Ultrasonic.
Pull up in a Wraith. I said chill, we don't hustle at your pace. We beware, all the legends leave a trace. You see our diamonds, they be lighting up the place. chill, we don't hustle at your pace. We beware, all the legends leave a trace.
Cool. It's a cool idea. I like it a lot. It feels like in my mind it feels like a marriage between AU5 and like Tape B. Cuz like the kind of like rap vocals, where are those from, by the way? I'm just kind of curious. Cuz it looks like this is an original, so I was curious if that's your voice or if it's someone else that you're working with. But either way, yeah, I think that there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Arrangement works great. A lot of cool sound design. I think that mix-wise, the mix is really the thing that feels like it's lagging behind the rest of the track a little bit. And you know, it's I'm trying to think like.
I said chill, we don't hustle at your pace. We beware, all the legends leave a trace. You see our diamonds, they be lighting up the place.
It's most elements are totally not a huge issue. I'm actually, it's to me it's more the drums actually that I find could use some improvement. And they sound really kind of.
We beware, all the legends leave a trace.
Like that snare in this section, for example, it kind of sounds like multiple fundamentals are kind of competing with each other. It kind of sounds just like this, like noise, rather than kind of like a more. I kind of prefer snare sounds, whether they're high pitched or low pitched or whatever, to have like a bit more of a fundamental. And that sounds a little bit kind of just like kind of smushed. So that would be nice to have something where like the fundamental is a bit more audible.
You see our diamonds, they be lighting up the place. Your place. We beware, all the legends leave a trace.
Yeah, I think like actually the hi-hats too, to me, feel like they just sound like straight up 808 hats without much like processing. I think that if you explore a few different approaches to your drum sound design for the track, that could be really beneficial, because a lot of other stuff going on, I feel like I've got zero issue with. A lot of cool a lot of cool sound design going on, like these little repeats that are happening here. A lot of the bass sound.
We don't hustle at your pace.
You know, actually, I'm just going all over the place right now. But speaking of the intro, or just like cool stuff going on, I was thinking in the intro, it'd be nice to have some foreshadowing of the vocals. Like maybe you could have little phrases that are, you know, iPhone or just phone EQ'd, you know, like mostly mids with some peaks, and then you know, some ping pong delay or something, and kind of like washed out reverb. I think that could be really cool to kind of foreshadow it like that. Like pick a phrase that sticks out to you. Hold on.
Can you pull up in a rave? I said chill, we don't hustle at your pace.
Like hustle at your pace. You could throw that in there in the beginning, just that little phrase. But yeah, let's see what else. What else could I think of to share that might be helpful?
We beware.
Yeah, like this part feels very AU5y to me. A lot of those kind of like synth riffs and the sound design just feels reminiscent of AU5 to me, which is dope. He's a crazy talented producer. I wonder if it could be beneficial to reference some of his music from a mixdown perspective. I think a lot of the sound design actually at least in terms of like placement and general like stylistic character and stuff, feels quite strong. But I think like it's more so the drums and the way they're mixed into the track. Yeah, I think just a little more paying a little more attention to some of those like more minute details. I think a lot of things just could benefit from owning in some of the side chaining some more, doing some more multi-band compression and specific frequency ranges, and like really taming the mix in particular areas, and part of that you probably already do this anyways, but isolating frequency ranges, if you go on your master and you just start like listening to various ranges and then start omitting layers and seeing like, okay, where does like, for example, some of the muddiness come from in this frequency range during this section of the song? What happens if I remove this layer? Is that muddiness still there? It's like, it can just put things in perspective that you may not have thought of otherwise. But yeah, obviously that's a pretty common thing. Just wanted to throw it out there as a reminder in case it might be helpful. Yeah, I like this section a lot too. Yo, what's up, Ession? Thank you so much for what just happened. You gifted a bunch of subs. That's really kind of you. Thank you. So welcome to all the new subs. That's a hype train. And sweet. That's pretty much all the feedback I got for you, Leo. So hopefully that was helpful. But appreciate you sharing that track. So let's move on. What's up, Ganjuba? How you doing, Ession? Did you I don't know if you celebrate Thanksgiving at all. Oh, I had a great Thanksgiving. Y'all should have seen this turkey. It was massive. I think it was 30 pounds. There was mashed potatoes, green beans, all the regular usual suspects. My mom made some pies. There was so much pie, we literally walked out of there with an extra pumpkin pie. No, you don't? I know you're waiting for Christmas. Fair enough. Yo, Ganjuba, if you got something to share with us, feel free to throw a link in the chat. Otherwise, I'll wait another minute or so and then move on to the next person. Leo, cool, man. Thank you for the feedback. Love your work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really like your track. Oh, yeah. While we're waiting for Ganjuba, Leo, I was just going to say, like, I don't know if this is that helpful, but I feel like referencing like tape B for that rap section of your song would be cool, and then switching over to referencing AU5 for your drop that comes after that would be cool. Just in terms of like stylistic choices, mix, like a lot of I feel like tape B. Who else is doing that right now? That kind of style, I guess. Peekaboo, kind of. Peekaboo is a little bit different. I feel like tape B is yeah, he literally builds his drops around those acapellas. They're mixed in, so I feel like that could be a really good reference point for what you're doing. Yeah, effing for sure. Yeah. All right, Ganjuba, we might skip past you here. I'm not sure if you're if you stepped away, but we'll come back to you if you're still in the stream later on. So we'll roll on to the next person here. What's up, Art Nerd? Arialos, thank you for the follow. Do you have something or no? Don't feel pressured to actually share something. I don't know if you are. I know sometimes when you're describing to someone in the chat how to Instagram, where are we going with this? Oh, is this something you made? Wait, is this Overwatch? No, I don't think so. Riot's upcoming art contest. What it feels like to clutch. I want to showcase how I feel both before and after clutch winning round. Figured a comic book inspired webtoon that would be good for showing the die comedy. Yeah. Okay, last standing player. Oh wait. Oh, cool. It's interesting to see the process. What game is this? I'm cheating visual arts tags. Noxel took care of that earlier. Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. That's Valorant. Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looked familiar. I haven't actually played Valorant more than like 5 minutes. So, anyways, cool. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Ardnerd made the BRB screen, by the way. So, thank you for doing that. I mean, you've done a lot more than just that, but anyways. Cool. Let's keep moving on to the next person. What's up, Brainio? You got something for us to listen to? We'll take a moment here and see if they get back to us. I'm trying to score the feeling of having 20 pounds of turkey in my belly, not being able to move, and sitting on my couch by the warmth of my forced air with my fiance. What's up, Caden? Thank you so much for the sub. Are you gonna share something with us today? Okay. We'll just move on for now. You can always share something later on, Rainio. What's up, Ron? Well, out of town wouldn't be anything new. Okay, no worries. What's up, Virtual Snow? Track off of your first album? Ooh, that's exciting. First album is a big deal. Oh, do you have like maybe a private SoundCloud link or something like that? All right, let's try this one. Insight demo. All right, let's see what we got. Tiny bit quiet. Thanks for gifting that, Essian. It's a tiny bit on the quiet side. I don't have a way of turning it up past this, unfortunately. Getting kind of Kavinsky vibes. Aerialis, if you want to enter the raffle to be randomly selected for sharing a track, just type _join. And then I'm going through the raffle randomly, so people are just chosen randomly, and then they share their link. I don't want anyone to get preferential treatment based on, you know, being a subscriber or stuff like that. So it's completely random. Makes it fair, yeah. Getting some, a little bit of a Blade Runner kind of feel. Kind of melancholic. But with some energy. Sick. It's a really cool idea. I like it. So I know this isn't necessarily related to like critiquing the song, but it is really helpful when, you know, the track is like somewhat normalized in volume, just because otherwise the volume variance between submissions will kind of make it harder for people to hear. It's only so loud, you know, people can turn their speakers and such. So just for future reference, slap a limiter on there. It could help a little bit. You don't need to brick wall it, but just kind of beefing it up a little bit could be helpful for a listening experience. But okay, anyways, going to the track, I'm definitely like picking up on some like Blade Runner, Kavinsky kind of vibes, and I definitely like that genre and space of music a lot. In terms of critique, I don't really have a lot that comes to mind. I think you know, your mix sounds good. There's nothing that kind of feels really offensive or out of place in any point of the song. There aren't any sounds that feel like they're way too loud or yeah, nothing stands out in that regard. But I feel like with a track like this, it's kind of up to you, right? Like if you want to, like you have a lot, everything from beginning to end feels very consistent. Like you've built this track, everything is kind of working as is, right? And so it's kind of like a little bit up to your discretion now to decide, like, do you want to expand on what's here, or do you just want to finalize and execute this vision? Because I feel like if you were to just kind of like mix and master this, and you loved the idea from beginning to end as is, then you're pretty much right at the finish line. You just got to mix and master it, and then you're pretty much good to go. But I feel like if you wanted to, there's room for more creativity and more unexpected moments. In general, a lot of these like synth sounds are very kind of like long release and very kind of legato and smooth, and it kind of fits the whole like melancholic, like cyberpunk-ish almost kind of vibe. But I think that there might be room for more ways to contrast that, little moments where maybe things switch up into something more staccato for a little bit. Excuse me. And another thought is that I know there are some melodies in here, but there wasn't anything specific that really stood out to me in that regard. So, there is some voice leading, like there are some notes that are kind of like sitting on top of everything else, but they don't feel like a main melody. It kind of feels more like, how do I say it? It feels more like it would be a supporting element to a main melody, and there isn't one currently, which is, again, not a bad thing. But I feel like you could get away with... Here, actually, I have a style of lead that maybe could serve as some inspiration that I think could potentially fit into what you're doing. So let's see, what is it? Where is this thing? Something along these lines. With some reverb and delay and stuff. I feel like it's like a classic. It's kind of like a sync lead a little bit, but a little more fine-tuned, like distortion and stuff like that. But there's room for like something like that in here somewhere. Something like that. I'm just kind of riffing something random, but like even that doesn't feel like that much of a main melody. It feels more like just like a little riff. But I think you have room to add. My point being, you just have room to expand on what you have here, or you could call it mix and mastered, and it's a finished kind of deal, right? So totally your call. Another thing, actually, now that I think about it, Kavinsky. If you check out Kavinsky. Like Drive, for example, that's probably his biggest track. Those kind of like gritty vocoded vocals are really fit that kind of style so much, in my opinion, because it's got this kind of like dystopian, futuristic kind of vibe to it, and the way that he does it in particular works great in that style. So I would consider checking that out and seeing if you want to think about adding something like that as well. But yeah, just a thought. Thanks for sharing, and good luck with your first album. And that's all I got for you, so thank you for sharing. Moving on, Magneto, Matt Gamer, what's going on? Maybe for Feedback Fridays, I should start having a synth loaded up too, not just piano. Could be kind of cool. All right, Magneto, we might have to move on from you in a moment here. Looks like you might be AFK. Aerodynamic vibes, that is exactly what I was trying to play. All right, Magneto, we're going to move on for now. If you come back, we'll still check out what you're working on, but let's roll on to the next person here. What's up, Stormcloud? What you got for us? Wait, Haywyre, did you revisit the other person that came back? Who came back? I must have missed that. My bad, if I did miss that. I was trying to scroll back and see who it was. Rainio came back. Did they submit their link? Because I'm trying to look through and I'm not seeing anything here. If Storm doesn't show, then we'll do radio. Yeah, I agree. Sounds like a plan. Mission Impossible in take 5. Okay, let's do Rainio. It looks like Stormcloud's AFK. Man, y'all are going AFK on me. What's the deal here? All right. Let's click on this. Thanks for sharing, Rainio. So, all right, this is Jibby Rock and Gregatron. That's a name.
Jesus, man, wash me clean. There are no stains on me. I belong to the King. That's why I sing. Who can have me? Who can have me? Who can have me? Who can have me? lost his grip, Jesus holds me. I've been born, I've been freed. Who can have me? Who can have me? Grace wrote my story, love surrounds me. Darkness trembles, it can drown me. Hell only knows the fear. The devil under my feet. Who can have me?
Cool. I'm not familiar with the original, so what I like my feedback will just be based on what I'm hearing. So, a lot of good stuff going on. It feels very euphoric and energetic. The arrangement works. Good intro. You're kind of grabbing people's attention with this big like synth like moment. You know, it's like a pre-drop just kind of thing. And I like that. I also really like your decision to kind of have a lot of this negative space. I think like the temptation is for the drop to be like really kind of just big sounding throughout. But I like that you kind of decided to add a lot of kind of like more negative space in there as well. Kind of like those little starts and stops. I like that kind of stuff a lot. And especially if you've already had like this really big kind of sustained legato synth big saw unison chord thing going on here. You kind of need to have some variation of that for the drop. So I like that. I like that decision making. And I think that the mixdown is a pretty unique sounding. I like that it doesn't sound I don't know. It sounds like there is some effort that went into kind of sculpting things and mixing them in a way that is unique to you. I like the variation in the second drop versus the first one as well. I think one thing I will say, and this is take this with a grain of salt, not super important. I feel like it is maybe a bit over compressed because the dynamics throughout the song, the remix, I guess, are somewhat non-existent. But you know that's kind of emblematic of the, you know, that's just the name of the game in EDM these days. I feel like, you know, and it's not necessarily. That's just a personal preference thing. So like, it's not actually an issue for the most part. But like, let's say if we go to this section here, post drop.
Sin lost his grip, Jesus holds me. I've been born, I've been freed. Who can have me?
I think in a section like this, I'm not the vocals sound like they're obviously processed super heavily. I think they sound like over compressed here. So maybe it's not the track in general, but I think for moments like this where you have the ability to create a little bit of breathing room, right? Because I mean, you've already had these really big, impactful moments. You could tone it back just a tiny bit here and give the vocals a little more breathing room. But yeah, I don't know. Just my thought process.
I've been freed. You can have me. You can have me. Grace wrote my story, now surrounds me. Darkness trembles, it can drown me. Hell only knows defeat.
But yeah, that's just some thoughts there. Honestly, outside of that, I can't really think too much to suggest because I think you've done a really good job here. This is kind of a random thought. Also, by the way, this is already released, so I'm just realizing now. I keep catching this too late, but I was critiquing it as if it was unreleased, I think, but it doesn't really matter either way. It's not like it changes my feedback. It's just like, you know, I don't want to. Yeah, it just feels weird giving feedback on something that is already in its final released form. But I was just gonna say, like, you know, with EDM and the structure always being like the focal point is always the drop, obviously, and you know, I feel like I kind of wish sometimes that there were I feel like there isn't too much experimentation, and this isn't like somehow unique to your particular song that you're sharing here, but like it doesn't feel like there's a ton of experimentation with how to play with people's expectations with drops, and I know that's not true for like all EDM music. There's plenty of artists that do some really outside of the box thinking when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I feel like I think of like somebody like G Jones. What's that track? There's a particular G Jones track I was thinking of. I can't think of the name, but there's also a random Mr. Bill track that I can't think of the name, but he had an album on Monster Cat last year where there's this. Was it this track? No, I don't think it was this one. Oh wait, that's Phantasmagoria. Wait, where's the Mechanomorphic? Yeah, this track, this album. Damn, there's so many tracks on here. It's crazy. Is it this tune maybe? I know me just starting it right there out of context of the rest of the track feels kind of pointless to like. It is kind of pointless for me to go off on a tangent here. It's not really related to your track in particular, Radio. But this is just me thinking in general. Like, man, I love it when people get creative with how to lead into a drop and like the drop. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. And I don't know. I just really liked what Mr. Bill did here. Kind of like just removing all melodic aspects and just having this kind of like a tribal kind of like drum fill before the drop. I just thought it was really cool. I just thought it was a creative choice. But either way, thanks for sharing, Rainio. I'm not going to keep going off on tangents here. Let's keep listening to music y'all are working on. What's up, JS Maze 1? What's going on? What you got for us? followed 10 years ago. Yeah, I know. It's a long-time viewer. Cool, that was a little random intermission piece while we're waiting for J.S. Mays, but it looks like he might be AFK. Cool, let's move on. Looks like J.S. Mays might be AFK. What's up, Arialos? Damn, you had that link ready to go. Everybody's AFK today for some reason. Alright. I need you now. Get some burial style drums going on. Thank you, Ession, for that gifted sub. Dig it. I feel like it's a tiny bit sparse in some areas. Definitely room for more elements. Yo, Popcorn Pro. Thank you so much for those gifted subs. Extremely kind of you. Welcome to all the new subs. You wanted the gift badge? Cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. I like the progression of the song. I like that you're kind of like waiting for the listener to get further into the track for some of these chord progressions to kind of like get revealed more and more. It was kind of interesting because there was a time. Hold on. Kind of rewards the listener for sticking around, in my opinion. So I'm a fan of that kind of approach. It's funny. So like up until this point, it was like around 1:30 where I started like, I think I harmonized it on accident the same way that or very similar to how you ended up introducing these chords. I think I was playing, maybe I was doing the G major. But either way, it's a really cool track. My only complaint really right now, I mean, arrangement, mix, like composition, cool sound design, a lot of great choices happening. It just feels at times maybe a bit too sparse. Like, one of the most immediate ways in which I think you could add more space, for example, to a section like this. I think just like some kind of pad, some kind of atmospheric background elements could be nice. Initially, I was gonna say I was picturing like some like Cohen sound style percussive work going on here, like more Foley and things like that. And honestly, that's actually not a bad idea, especially for a section like this where you're getting a little bit more bare bones. Yeah, I think just filling out some of these sections. It's really just some of the intro. This section here. Actually, this section to me doesn't feel like it needs that much more because to me this feels like a really rewarding part of the song where you start hearing the more of the harmonic outline of the song. Up until that point, it's been basically like kind of like the G and G sharp being played around with a lot. No like harmonic content really up until this point. So this feels like a kind of like a little bit of a dramatic reveal. So in my mind, it's okay to have very few elements here. But yeah, this part, however, yeah, I just think there's room to add more elements. That's it, really. Same with this intro part here. Up to you. Totally your choice. But it could also be more of a dynamic range issue where maybe if some of these elements are kind of like a bit louder so that there's not that big of a volume contrast once that sub pops in here. Maybe that could help as well, because I totally understand that, you know, the minimal aspect of the song is a huge part of the style you're going for. It's kind of like darker, broody, all like almost industrial-ish kind of thing happening, and yeah, obviously understand like you don't want to overcrowd it with a bunch of elements. Some of that, some of the moodiness will get lost if you're adding too many things. So I understand it's a hard balance to get right. But yeah, anyways, just some food for thought. That's all I got for you. Cool. All right, y'all. Look at this. I'm actually like doing a bunch of DJ Cone. So let's do a couple more. I think I'm getting close to the end here of the feedback stream today, but got to make sure to get to Ession, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. The system isn't wanting to hear your music today, Ession. I'm sorry. What's going on at Mostly Water? You got something for us? Can we skip and come back? That's totally fine. What is there? Like 2 names left, so a 50% chance Ession gets picked now. Oh, I guess there must have been more names. Sorry. Why so cold? You got something for us in the meantime? We'll get back to you later. Let's see if Why So Cold's got something for us. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Sick. It's a cool idea. I like it. I think I like the first drop the most. It's kind of chaotic, but it's fun. I think that actually I like the mix a lot in this too. It's crazy how, like, I feel like you don't hear much bass house these days. I know there's obviously like Knock 2, but I feel like that whole like Joyride Jaws era of bass house is like kind of gone. I think my only complaint is that this second halftime drop feels just like a little bit too chaotic almost. It kind of feels like the flow is just a tiny bit too unpredictable and chaotic. And I'm trying to understand I'm trying to think if I can provide any thoughts there. But I mean, it's just my perspective. Doesn't really. I almost wonder if like the low end was like separated from that bass sound, like if it was more like a trap approach to the low end, and the low end was just kind of like this distorted, saturated sub hitting with the kick drum, and then that bass sound design was kind of like just like sitting on top. I wonder if that would sound good. Maybe not. I have no idea. And it's just a thought I had. Like, it feels like the low end trying to match that. It's kind of hard to groove along to that part when the low. But I think maybe separating the low end from it could be interesting. If maybe there's some kind of potential in that direction, but maybe not. Who knows? I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, in general, really cool idea. Thank you so much for sharing. It's it's a dope tune. Does the idea work? Yeah, for sure. I think it does. Absolutely. But yeah, some softer transitions. I don't know. I think like part of the style, like I think can benefit from like really harsh transitions. But yeah, anyways, thank you for sharing. Cool, let's move on. All right, you finally got your chance, Ession. Did we hold up? Did that person ever come back and share a link from earlier? Now, Martin, I have 3 things to show you. what is going on here? That I'm going to reveal in the upcoming weeks and months that I did with Bellic as his teacher and mentor. Okay. First one will be a remix of a legendary worldwide known Mexican-born guitarist to help them execute. Oh, interesting. I will show you that in a week. Okay. Second one and third one. We'll just say a black kitten got uncaged. Okay, nice. It is now following its instinct. What is going on here? For now, let me just show you a remix approach we did, but then Led Zeppelin, Camo and Crooked. What is happening? I am curious. Flipping a Led Zeppelin classic. Production bucket list. Huh.
This is a certified copyright moment.
Very interesting. I'm excited to hear this.
I think it was the easiest way to become accustomed once again to crowds of people. Last night was the first time that I stepped in front of 7,000 or 8,000 people and said, "Good evening."
My parents love Led Zeppelin. That was unexpected. second drop is like.
Let me get back, let me get back, let me get back. Baby, where I come from. It's been a long time, and a long time, and a lonely time. Rock and roll. This is rock and roll. And a
Back to the first drop there.
This is rock and roll. And a lonely time.
Nice.
But I think that there's two sides to every story.
Oh, that's an unexpected outro here. Sick. Honestly, perfect way to end the stream. That was a really sick tune. Thank you for sharing, Esyan. So that's a student of yours, you said, right? I insisted he would add it. Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. I think I don't know that I have any kind of critique that I feel like is somehow important enough to mention that I think like would actually be a guaranteed way to make this track any better than it already is. It's interesting. The only thing, like all the mix, the sound design, like the arrangement is really cool. I love this kind of like random, like switch up at the end here, and yeah, it reminds me of like in hip hop instrumentals when you sometimes hear like this random alternate version of how a sample was flipped, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I actually like the drum sound design here too. Get some R&B vibes here at the end. But anyways, everything is sounding great here, so that's I don't really have anything to say. Ending was inspired by Meshes and Culprit. I could see that for sure. Hey wants to solo on this so bad. Yeah, I definitely wanted to. But it's already got a solo, so kind of don't want to compete with that. But anyways, y'all. All right, some really sick submissions today. Thank you so much for sharing your tunes. I'm glad I streamed for a bit longer this time. I know I didn't do a full 3 hours like I was originally saying, but I feel like we still got through a lot more music than we normally do. So thank you all so much for sharing some stuff you guys are working on, and slash have already released. And I'll be back on Sunday for another normal stream, 1 p.m. CDT. Be sure to come back next Friday for sure. Anyways, y'all, that's gonna be it for me for today. That's a really awesome Feedback Friday. I think I want to start maybe like switching up some of the times a little bit so I do Feedback Fridays longer. I think 1 hour is a bit short. Even 2.5 hours wasn't enough to get through everyone's submissions. So, but still, I think like somewhere around the 2 hour mark feels pretty solid. So I'll be back next week with more Feedback Fridays, but for now, Sunday will be a normal stream. Gonna keep working on album stuff. Sunday's my last day, I believe, to be able to submit my Insight VIP for a release this year. So I'm gonna work really hard on finalizing that ASAP. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and hope you guys have a solid weekend. And see you guys around. Peace out, y'all. Take care, and hope to see you guys in the next stream. Later.